I know Miss Moro, I treat her family. What do you want to reveal? I think it was this woman who killed Lieutenant Mollet. She is the devil incarnate. Hello everybody and welcome to the 21st episode of We the Revolution. It is day 5 in Act 2. Today we'll have a few minor cases. There also is a letter here. My apologies, it's been a few days since my last recording session. So if I forget about something, that happens. Dear Judge, this evening we will be holding a ball in the outskirts of Paris. We have invited only the brightest minds of France, the better part of France, and your presence is expected. My associates and I have something to tell you, something important. The cart will be waiting outside court. Clément Regard. Clément Regard was... Is it this guy? Probably. I'm assuming that's him. The eminence grise of Paris, ruling over the city straight and involved in any and all profitable ventures. Here's the process order. Okay. Fair enough. Let's have a look here. Denise Asselin, an elderly woman and former prostitute, runs a brothel in her small apartment. 4 girls from the country were working in turns in 2 rooms. During the investigation, they complained that the tenant paid them only a few francs per night and fed them poorly. Are they forced? I mean, she's kind of pimping, but then... Is she forcing them? I'm gonna let her go, because I can't read from this if she's forcing the girls. And, I mean, paying your people not enough definitely isn't worth a death penalty. I mean, they can still go look for a different job, which they will have to do anyway if I murder her. So, yeah. 6-year-old Marie-José Dumont bought 2 kilograms of onions at a street market, yet she paid for only 1. The next time the girl showed up at the market, the storekeeper took her to the nearest police station. But she bought 2 kilograms, so he made a mistake, right? She bought 2 kilograms and she paid for only 1, so she didn't give enough money. That doesn't even sound like a crime to me. That sounds like he told her the wrong price, or he didn't check the money. She might have made a mistake. I'm not gonna execute her for that. Besides the fact that we're talking about like a pound of onions. 2 cheap prostitutes, another prostitute case. Marie-Laure de la Place and Yvette Michon assaulted and badly injured their colleague Lucille Yogouil, who had allegedly seduced one of their clients. Passers-by found the victim in a dark alley. She was unconscious, bleeding, and covered in bruises. Owing to the attack, the victim lost her eye. Okay, so basically they beat her really bad. She lost an eye to it. I'm going to believe that, and I'm not gonna let him go because this is a terrible attack, and she might have died from it. So I'm not gonna let him go. I wish there was jail. But yeah, they need punishment at least. During a trade visit to the north of France, Michael Loup allegedly had intercourse with Boissonade, a widow who runs a Dost house in Rouen. There's a lot of prostitution going on. The claim was filed by the wife of the accused. It was not backed with any evidence. There's no evidence, and even if, what's the crime committed? Okay, so he cheated? I'm against cheating, but I don't think it's punishable by death. So we're gonna let him go. Théophile Coeufbeer. Aimé Martin accused brothers Théophile and Éloire Coeufbeer of raping her during a dance. They allegedly dragged her near the Seine and forced themselves on her in the shrubs. We did not find any witness. Well, yeah, it was in the shrubs. How many witnesses do you find in the shrubs? Like, the only other witness you could find is another rapist in there. Let's be honest. Yeah, I'm going to believe this, especially because back in those times, I'm pretty sure, like, she would be considered dishonored now. So this is definitely nothing she would ever make up, because like she couldn't marry and stuff, and she would not have a pleasant life ahead of her, like now that it's publicly known. So I'm pretty sure she wouldn't make this up. So I'm going to believe her. Olivia Monnois, an employee at the government office, allegedly told her neighbors that her new manager is not suitable for his position. She supposedly even said that the new authorities are betting on simpletons and that someone will have to sort things out. What's the crime? Is the crime counter-revolution? Because basically she just said my boss sucks. Everyone thinks their boss sucks. I'm sorry, girl, but everyone thinks the herb boss sucks. I'm not going to say anything about that. Alright, let's put some of the liquid gold on there and go to a ball, I believe it is we have to do. Thank God everyone deserves justice. Yeah, I don't really understand why, for example, the rapists, they didn't get a court trial. Like, that sounds like a court trial I would have liked to play. It sounds like a pretty fun, actually. Good day, citizens. I'm here to take you to the ball. Why are you so sure that I have the intention of going? Sure, Resistance Renard has asked me to tell you that during the event, he will reveal the name of the person who murdered your child. But I know who murdered him. I doubt it. The courage awaits you, citizen. You really have nothing to lose, so please follow me. Alright. Why am I not wearing a mask? This is obviously a mask ball, right? Like, everyone's wearing a mask, but I'm pretty sure that's my normal face. Why would I go to a mask ball without wearing a mask? That does not bode well for my face.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Did I have a choice?
That's why everyone hates aristocrats. I didn't really feel like having a choice.
You're an aristocrat yourself, you're a judge.
Fair point. Thank you anyway.
Why the hell would Fidelity be against aristocrats? I'm pretty sure you belong to, like, the upper 1%.
What a lovely residence. I'm glad that all that tribute money didn't go to waste. Why am I here?
We wanted you to meet those who are pursuing...
And suddenly became way quieter. I think there's something very wrong with the audio balancing. Everyone has a reason to hate you. The same propaganda slogans all over again. Once we're finished with that revolution, we can kill all those who are now trying to get rid of us. Good luck, maybe you will meet the one who killed my child. I must admit that we weren't entirely convinced whether we should take part in that murder, but the offer was just too tempting. So you murdered my child. What is that supposed to mean? You know what it means. It means he killed her. I personally think that our disguised partner overestimates you. Yet he wishes to cooperate with the judge of the tribunal. He has also reassured us that he doesn't intend to kill any other member of your family. That's very nice of him. You killed my child? You did that? How powerful we, the Highborn, have become since you forced us to unite. We'll play one single game of dice, you and I.
We will play for the fate of the man who betrayed your family.
There's back. Good voice, good
child.
balancing here. Let's play. I want to get a plan streamer. I don't think we can win this. Can we win this? Do we have to? Can we just kill him? I will not play.
I will not play your games, Renard.
You are as weak and mediocre as your father.
Everything pointed to Goebel. If it was really Renard who was responsible for my son's death, then I should not have started a war with Goebel. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. There's Goebel on one side and furious revenge-driven aristocrats on the other. All the aristocrats love me, actually. A war on two fronts at once, at a time when our country itself is consumed by civil war. Maybe you should agree to that alliance. I will not ally with the murderers of my child. You still have another one. I will not do it. Still alive, but I would prefer not to bury any more of your family. After all, while you were enjoying yourself at the ball, the family went out to town. Why does my family hate me for going to a ball? I have to go while they were enjoying themselves in town. Like, it's not like they went to town to work in the coal mines to make dinner. You know what I mean? Why do they hate me? Why do people hate me? Game. All of this looking good. No, the statue has reached another level of development. We can see it's another one. There's a fight going on here. All of you are wounded. It's somewhat of an issue. He's taking over this section. I can't move him. I can't really do anything because all of them need to heal. We can now buy the political saloon, I guess. And maybe we can denounce. Well, arrest the nearest enemy agent. That sounds pretty good because there's a lot of agents right now. Like the enemy is way more agents than me. We are advancing at 5%, 7 days. So if nothing changes, we make it in time. If nothing changes in 7 days, we've perfectly hit it. But if we reduce the amount we get per day, that's going to be an issue. Let's look at the intrigue. Alright. Well, in swift move, excuse me, Gobble cut himself off from his past. Gerard Boutin wanted to meet him in person, but the Archbishop repelled him, calling him a traitor and a fraud. I doubt that he will admit to fatherhood. Boutin is all alone, and we would gain nothing by involving him in our plans. Gobble slipped through our fingers during a gathering of the convention. He announced his resignation from the Holy Order. With a raised voice, he claimed to be disgusted by the corruption and moral decay of the clergy. To our surprise, Herbert played along and made Gobble the face of the group. A spontaneous crowd cheered the apostate. With just a single move, the former Archbishop has gained the support of both the street and the convention. He outsmarted you. Moreover, Herbert announced that he and Goebel have a list of 73 deputies and officials who either committed bribery or acted as agents of foreign powers. He made a strong allusion to Robespierre, saying that there are no incorruptible people. They gave the guilty 5 days to leave the country. After that time, they are going to publish the list. Something tells me that your name appears there as well. Seeing how you dealt with Roland and the mayor of Paris, Goebel now sees you as a threat. The brothers used to be an important source of income and information for him. I'm not sure what to do here. There's nothing I can do right now, right? We have successes here. We have 2 failed ones and 2 successful ones, but I don't know why we failed them. I don't know. Let's just go next, I think. I think we can't do much more right now. This might become a longer episode, but I'm just going to do this full day as well. So this will almost certainly be a longer episode, but otherwise it's just 12 minutes, which I think is a little bit too short. So, excuse me, I had to step out there for a moment. My apologies if you just saw a little cut there. Let's look here. I used to live on the streets, eating what I stole or found, so I started to spy, selling information for a living. I recently spent some time near the British court. I will not tell you who sent me there. It seems my past is trying to reach out to me. Why now, when I'm finally doing something I believe in, for me and for someone else? I suggest you refrain from meeting strangers in dark alleys. If someone claims to know detailed information about my life, they probably want me dead. Ramel. Alright. I moved up. I've taken Pachet's situation. Okay, we can kill her. That would work actually kind of well for us. If we're quitter, we're at risk of being removed from office. Alright, something to keep in mind. We have a lady accused of murder here. The defendant is Valerie Moreau, daughter of Advocate Philip Moreau. She was arrested as a suspect for the murder of Lieutenant Sergeant Mollet, a cavalry officer. The investigation revealed that they knew each other well and, according to both families, met several times over a month. What's more, Lieutenant Mollet had asked Philip Moreau for his daughter's hand. Miss Moreau testified that she had found her friend's body in his apartment. She was arrested because the servants testified that nobody else entered Lieutenant Mollet's apartment on that day, and the servants had seen the victim alive before the arrival. Miss Moreau testified that she was allowed into the house by Lieutenant Mollet's servants and went directly to his room. She said that she saw him lying in bed and blood-stained clothes and his throat had been cut. Even though she supposedly felt faint, she approached him to check his pulse. A few minutes later, she called for help. Few minutes later? The servant's testimonies corroborate her account. When they found her, she was holding Lieutenant Mollet's body in her arms and sobbing uncontrollably. A bloodstained knife was lying on the floor, and on its still wet hilt there were small, probably female fingerprints. The case seems simple. She is one of the aggrieved parties, and dragging her into court will only cause her more distress. We should focus on looking for the real murderer, not harass as such fragile, innocent creatures. Alright. Why was the knife lying on the floor though? And why was she holding the body if she just walked over to check for the pulse? Alright, let's check this out. Obviously it could also have been any of the servants and they could be working together, or it could have been any murderer that paid off the servants, or it could have been someone who broke in. There's a few possibilities here. Let's say knife is method, instrument of crime. Slit throat is the method. Advocate's daughter is her personality. Checking for pulse is a method, I assume. Defendant holding the body is a method, I assume? No? But it's not the motive and it's not the accusation. Extenuating circumstance? No. That made no sense. This is not the accusation. No visitors is definitely not this. It shouldn't be accusation. It shouldn't be. I'm gonna say method. Discovery of the body. Well, if defendant holding the body is accusation, then discovery of the body should also be accusation. Alleged engagement is the motive. Okay. Young, pretty, and not happy. No wonder people take her side. Heartless rogues, how can you drag a girl in mourning to court? Silence, please! Introduce yourself. My name is Valerie Moreau. Miss Moreau, you're accused of murdering Lieutenant Mollet. Do you have anything to say? I still can't believe any of this. Where's the drama, please? This is not a theater. Sadist! Sure, let's start asking. I've known the victim for a long time. Lieutenant was a soldier. How could someone? Miss Moreau must learn every detail of this case. Let's start off with every detail. Understand, please ask your questions. Investigator has learned from your father that Lieutenant Mollet was in agreement with him about your engagement. Oh. Did you know any of that agreement? I know that but not that soon. No, I didn't know. Your family kept it a secret? Well, she was stuttering. Apparently so. Maybe you reacted to his proposal by killing him. No. My god, why not execute her at once, you bastard? Okay, there might be a mistake in there when you found the victim's body. This is inhumane. I received a letter in which he asked me to come. He wrote that he would send everyone away and we could spend some time on our own. Ba-dum-bum. He wanted to confess something. On our own? How should we interpret that? He sure did not mean anything indecent. He was an honorable person, a cavalryman. What happened next? I arrived on time and entered his apartment. The drapes were closed and I felt something slippery beneath my shoe. It was blood. Did anyone see you entering? I do not know. The servants, perhaps. Did you sneak in there? He asked me to enter quietly. And when I went inside, immediately saw the body. I was only after a few moments that I saw him. He was lying on his bed. His throat... Excuse me. Awful. Wait, I'm not sure how big this place is. He had servants, right? So how did she even sneak past the servants? And if she can do it, anyone else can do it. Secondly, if this is true, it must be a bigger place, right? If he has servants and the place is so big she can sneak past, it must be a bigger place. So I'm sure the bed wouldn't be so close to the door that the moment she enters the room, she's already standing in his blood. Have you known the victim? How could you be sure that the victim was already dead? When the guards arrived, they found you covered in blood. A bloodstained knife was found at the crime scene. I know nothing about the knife. It has an imprint of small, probably female fingers. So he was killed by a woman? He had someone else but wanted to marry me. I did not say that. I'm confused. Poor girl. Was it a judge? The accused is trying to deceive us. We know what a woman's imprint on the murder weapon means. Maybe I left it when Sarge was already dead. Why would you have it? Well, yeah, you left it after he was dead, after you slit his throat. She probably grabbed it in a shock. Yeah, have you known him for a long time? A few years, since his time in military school. What kind of acquaintance was it? Friendship? The steadfast friendship. Although for Lieutenant Mollet, I knew that it was something more than that. And for you? Why is he tormenting? Did you love him? If you did, maybe you murdered him because you were jealous. I do not know. I cannot answer that question. Refusing to answer will only go against you. We are breathing in the poor traumatized thing. The people really are on her side, aren't they? He was a soldier. How could someone kill him? It is so bad. How would such a child be able to kill him? This trial is a farce. Of course she could. You can kill anyone if you're able to surprise them. Whoever broke into his flat must have approached him very silently to not wake him up. Would he be sleeping right before meeting you? I only know that he was lying in bed. Maybe he decided to take a nap. Do you not find that suspicious? Everything about this case is suspicious. I agree, and your testimony especially. Mr. Judge, I made it on time. There's something I have to reveal. Please hear me out. I know Miss Moreau. I treat her family. What do you want to reveal? I think it was this woman who killed Lieutenant Mollet. She is the devil incarnate. Madman. What brings you to this conclusion? This is yeah. What brings you? I've been treating her for many years and have known her since she was a child. Recently, she changed. When Miss Moreau visited me not long ago, she was trembling, constantly getting a fever and having fits of terror. I prescribed her some herbs to calm her down. And what is the connection? Let me tell you, something was tormenting her inwardly. She told me once that she was too young for marriage. We have a motive. And she told us that she didn't know she was about to be married. Well, she was stammering around, but she pretended like she didn't know. So she knew what Lieutenant Mollet and her father were planning. If she did not, she at least suspected something. As for some time, her nerves have been on edge. How did you react to that? I thought she was still in shock after what she had seen, but what did she see? And I prescribed the sedative herbs. I assumed that she would get married, have a child, and forget about everything. It was only today that I heard about Lieutenant Mollet's death, and I came here at once. Thank you, Doctor. Wait, but what had she seen? It seems you have treated us to quite a performance. The Doctor is accusing you of bastard. If he's making a monster of me, perhaps I should butcher him for pleasure, stick a knife in his belly, and cut upwards, slash open his throat, and... What is she talking about? What do I fear is a serious opinion of a doctor? I just remembered. I know who killed Serge. I recall him telling me that a couple of years ago he dueled another officer who never accepted his defeat. Maybe that person, infuriated by his denial of an honorable way sneaked into Lieutenant Mollet's home to cut his throat after so many years. Do you know the name of that officer, miss? Unfortunately, I do not. What kind of duel was it? Did they use swords or pistols? I do not remember that either. Okay, so she's guilty. We know that. Unfortunately, the people still want her acquitted. But she murdered him. She did murder him. It's weird that we have no more questions. That this is where the game leaves us. That is weird. But we know she's guilty, so we will go for the death penalty here. I mean, obviously, we also struggle to do this. We will have to go against the jury, and the jury already hates us. We already have the enemy at courthouse problem. But we know she's guilty, so we're not gonna let her go. This could become a problem, though, that we went against the jury twice in a row. Let's hope it's not too big of a problem. The defendant found it was not counter-revolutionary and she did not confess. I should do this slower. Remember what happened last time. I sentenced Citizen Valerie Moreau to be guillotined, plead condemned out. We certainly did a fine job. This is inhumane. She's a lunatic. She deserves it. Really, you agree with me? Because it looks like no one agrees with me. Does it matter what we have to say? Yeah. I know you feel, but maybe you should make more obvious decisions. Like, why would you want to acquit her? There is literally nothing speaking for her. The servants say she did it. The doctor says she did it. And all she says as a defense is, he was already dead when I came. That's her entire defense. Come on, jury. You're not even trying, are you, jury? Sure, we'll speak. So, about attached, I think we need careless. Here, I think we need careless. And withdrawn, I'm going to manipulation. Here we could also try manipulation. I don't know, I think it will actually fit if we just do this, as I said it. It still counts as a satisfied crowd, so we get our reputation bonus. That's all we really need. There's no justice, you have no proof. You know you don't. Even you have no proof that you did it either. And apparently that's all we need. Like, I've sentenced people because people said something bad. That's basically what I do. So Reynards were responsible for Frederick's death. Everything points to that. We'll never be free of them. They will pay for it. I will do anything. Reynards have to pay. What good are revolutions and rebellions if we cannot demand justice? I agree. Everyone's kind of okay right now. And since everyone's kind of okay, she will drop below. But that's okay, we have a pretty high reputation. So we will support the construction of the statue. Because I'm a little bit scared that we won't make it on time. Because it's such a close call right now. So basically, if we lose any progress, we won't make it. So we'll get the extra, I think 3 or 4% that we get for that. And that's basically a full day. That should save it. I think he's hurt now too. That's an issue. They're gone. Everyone goes harder, blah 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 blah. At the political saloon, unfortunately, both of them. He's sick again. He's taking over section, he's taking over section, he's taking over section, and they're fighting. This is a problem. I shouldn't have put them in the same place. That was a mistake on my part. This action was already chosen on the grant immunity. In the report, the ball will block during tomorrow's trial, and you will not have to worry about it or bribe the jury. The jury will not have an opinion on the verdict in tomorrow's trial. This actually makes sense in my head, just because of where we stand. Because we went against the jury last time. Let's go for bribe the jury. This is somewhat of an issue though, because we will lose half of Paris next turn. Like, they will have 5 areas. That's an issue. We have to be very careful there. I wish we had more. The problem is that they have more units than me, and that I now had 2 units blocked, and that a lot of units got hurt lately. So there's a multiple problem. I had to stop him, but the rascal kept fighting and was going to yell so loud the whole court would hear him. Nobody recognized that young man. He was the one who turned Archbishop Gobel's life upside down. My name is Putin. I am his son. I suppose that knowing why you came here, you should know, however, that Gobel is no longer an archbishop and is now immune. Help me, please, in any way you can. A deaf boy. Did you hear what I said? Gobel is untouchable since he made an alliance with Herbert. If you had come to me sooner. I went to Jacques-Louis David, to Citizen Danton. Danton will not help you. That I'm certain. Listen to me, it is over. Gobel will be a successful politician, so take your mother far from Paris and forget about everything. My mother died a few years ago, despairing and humiliated as she pined for her love. I really am sorry for her loss, but there is not a thing I can do. The world loves the new Archbishop Apostate. So nobody will help me? No, I'm sorry. You have to live with that. Really? Oh wow, this is... I think we need to make a cut here, everybody, and I will see you in the next episode, which will probably be a very, very important one. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm gonna see you then. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.